In this region of Italy here, you will find places like Bologna and Florence, two absolutely stunning cities, south and east of these two cities, respectively. You will find another interesting place, but this time it's not a city of Italy, but in fact an entire different country. The country in question is, of course, San Marino, one of two countries found within Italy that are completely landlocked. Although unbelievably tiny, this European microstate is still not the smallest on Earth, nor is it in the top 3 smallest. At just 61 kilometers squared, this tiny mountainous country ranks as the 5th smallest. Its population is around 34,000, which again, just like its size, ranks it as the 5th smallest on Earth. This somewhat unknown country actually has some of the highest living standards anywhere on Earth. For GDP per capita, it ranks 12th, 5th for life expectancy, and for homicide rates, the 3rd safest place on Earth. But there is one statistic that I came across recently, one that I thought was rather interesting and worth looking into. So, this tiny country found in northeastern Italy has the most vehicles per 1,000 people on Earth, with around 1,300. This is more per capita than vehicle-loving countries like the US, Canada, or New Zealand. It is worth noticing, however, that the US, for example, has a population some 10,000 times greater than that of San Marino's. Now for reference, if the US was to invade and conquer San Marino and turn it into their 51st state, the state would easily be the least populated. It would in fact be 17 times less populated than the US's current least populated state, Wyoming. There are actually 2 places on Earth that have a higher figure than that of San Marino's, being 2 UK territories of Gibraltar and Guernsey. But if we exclude these and just stick to UN countries San Marino ranks first, so why on earth does this tiny country rank first for the most vehicles per 1,000 people? Let's find out. Well, one reason is a point we just mentioned. The population is so low that even a moderate amount of vehicles would result in a high ratio. The country, again, as mentioned earlier, is also rather wealthy, ranking 12th for GDP per capita, therefore resulting in people being able to own 1 or more vehicles. The country is also very mountainous and hilly, which makes walking, cycling, and public transport less accessible. Therefore, the infrastructure is quite limited, leading to fewer options compared to other European countries. The reason why the country is so mountainous is because it is found completely within the Apennine Mountains, which runs through central Italy from north to south. It also doesn't help that the country's population is also rather spread out. Even though the country is small, its population is distributed across several small towns and villages, as opposed to one main city center. Another reason why there are so many vehicles is that the country is a popular tourist destination, especially for Italians. These tourists then flood into the country via their own cars or cars that they have rented. So just a reminder that this country has some 1,300 vehicles per 1,000 people. Now can you guess which country ranks on the opposite end of the spectrum? So that is the country who has the lowest amount of vehicles per 1,000 people. It is obviously going to be a poor country, right? I'll give you another clue. It's a country where even if people could afford a car, they probably wouldn't be allowed to drive it unless they were a government official. Has the penny dropped yet? If not, then the country I'm talking about is no other than North Korea. So unbelievably, there is just 1 motor vehicle per 1,000 people in this country. The roads in this country are notoriously empty. For this reason, its capital Pyongyang has to be one of the most unique-looking big cities on Earth. It's a big, open city with many skyscrapers. Yet there is one thing missing compared to other cities of its size: the lack of cars driving and parked up. From above, it makes the city look like a ghost town, or perhaps a city in lockdown. Like what we saw during the COVID days, what's quite interesting is that the 4 countries with the most vehicles per 1,000 people are all small European countries, being San Marino, Liechtenstein, Andorra, and Monaco. They all fit the same description. They're all wealthy, tiny, and mountainous. The perfect setting for high personal vehicle demand, Volkswagen has the highest percentage market share in San Marino and Liechtenstein, whereas Mercedes ranks first in Monaco. Subscribe for more interesting geography content and to learn about countries around the world. And as always, thank you so much for watching.